my wife kind of thinks I was like losing my mind until she started seeing my profits, and then she's like, all right, cool, do whatever you want. I signed up for the challenge like January 2016. I basically just studied a lot and was break even. Then I joined Triforce training, I think in June or July of last year. Finally was able to kind of like merge the two methods. I never have really made money going long, but then around September I really started just wholly focusing on shorting and started to make a little bit of money. My favorite short play is like basically like the spikers that are up for basically no reason or regurgitated news, and then I just short the fuck out of them and wait. I started really focusing on Triforce's methods and in January, really December and January, and then so I've done pretty well. I got over the 100,000 mark this year. In the last like 30 days, I think I was like 76,000 profits. So.
Just say that again, 1 sec. Just say that. Everyone stop talking.
Yeah, so I made like $76,000 in like 30 days, which is fucking mind blowing to me. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome.
What did you do differently in the past 30 days where you made your 76,000 versus what'd you make the previous 30 days?
I mean, I did pretty good in January. I think I maybe made like 20,000.
Okay, so these 60 days you've made like 96,000. Mm-hmm. What changed from the previous 60 days to this? Is this like nearly all the money you've made in the last 60 days?
Yeah, definitely. So what I've done basically is, I just kind of immerse myself in Triforce's techniques. His watch list comes out, I watch it several times, I write out a plan. I bought a big marker board, it's like 6 by 4 feet or something, and I just write that shit out. And
do you have pictures of this?
Yeah, I actually do have a picture.
Did you post it anywhere?
No, I took it before I left because I kind of had a feeling I might get asked that question.
Yes!
I can tweet it out or something.
Yes, tweet it out!
I've got two TVs. My monitors are like 40-inch screens, and my wife kind of thinks I was like losing my mind until she started seeing my profits, and then she's like, all right, cool, do whatever you want. And then she's like, I can quit my job and stuff like that. So
one thing that I've noticed with a lot of my students is that their partners and their spouses, whether it's their boyfriend or their girlfriend or husband or wife, they're not necessarily very supportive of their education. It takes time to study so much. It takes a lot of hard work. There's usually losses in the beginning. And frankly, a lot of people give up because they're influenced by their significant other. And that is why I think it's so great that, Dan's wife now understands, after he's made this money, exactly how useful this is. Because studying does pay off if you have the patience and if you have the perseverance to see it through.
My wife, she's known me for 7 years, so she kind of understands what I do. I have a computer right next to my bed, actually, like a whole setup, and that's all she cares about, that I'm actually in the same room with her, not necessarily like in my office in a corner. When you're dating or you're married to someone who doesn't trade, it can be stressful because you're spending most of your time doing this one thing. Sometimes you neglect the other person that's there. So, but she understands. As long as I make time for her, like that's all that matters to her.
It's kind of mind-boggling, so I'm kind of like, oh, fuck, when is this going to end, or when am I going to screw it up? But so I've just really kind of taken more and more measures to prevent that. So I bought this whiteboard. I just write out my plan. I don't trade everything. Right now I'm mostly I'm doing tries algos with E-mini and T-notes, but then I just kind of like am really focused on oil and trading that. And so I just write my plan out on the marker board, and the only losses I've really had are when I was like being stupid and not following the plan because I thought I was smarter than the plan or something. But you know, how to
can't cheat your way to success.
Yeah. So I just do that, and it's been pretty awesome. So pretty excited.
Congrats. Give him another round of applause.
This is my second Market Mastery. I've also been in the challenge for about 1 year and 3 months. Joined Triforce Trading last summer. What I appreciated today the most was having real-time feedback from 3 of our teachers who have changed my life dramatically. Sometimes it's difficult to formulate a question that can get the sort of information that we need from you guys. So to have you guys all here and in person and has really just tremendously helpful. You all have like different things that you emphasize, and so to have that combination is just tremendous. The other thing that's been really good about these for me is being able to hang out with the other traders, figure out the different little tricks of the trade that have worked for folks, and also kind of articulating the ideas that I've learned sort of helps me understand them as well. But just sort of that dialogue with everybody has been extremely helpful as well. Today I made like $340 shorting MYSZ, and I did like 20.
Nice.
Yeah, I got like 2,300 shares at 270. I made like 15 cents a share shorting that. I had like an overnight long on oil that kind of screwed me a few $100, and then made some back shorting oil today.
He shorted oil like after a news event came out, and it dropped like three points, which is the equivalent of like 3 grams per contract. So he made about $3,000 total on it. It makes me feel really good. I mean, I love to see other people succeed at something that they really actually try hard at. I think for me it's a joy to watch, but also for them it's kind of like affirmation that they can do it by themselves. I think that's like the greatest thing.
Congrats, man. And I like your multi-strategy approach. There's not one right strategy. You do what works for you, and you try different stuff, and you try and make it work. Yeah. And I like how you're shorting oil and you're shorting a penny stock pump and dump. And
right.
It's like, yeah. A few hundred here, a few thousand there. Sometimes, shorting a penny stock pump and dump, you'll make more than the oil. Like you're trying to take whatever opportunities there are, and you're trying to work with your schedule and your personality. So I think there's a lot that you can learn from this guy. And congratulations on passing $100,000 in profits, man. That is a big achievement, and I know we want to stay humble, but did you do anything to celebrate?
Yeah, I went out and got like a bottle of champagne, and my wife and I enjoyed that. So
that's cool. That's awesome. So you should, and you really should, not just celebrate for the hell of it, but it's actually really good positive reinforcement. When you do something good, like do something nice for yourself, your wife, like other people, like you want more of that, and subconsciously you want that moment again. So I've been studying a lot of psychology and stuff like that, and rewards and punishment, and it works. Like, it's crazy. So thank you, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for having me.